When you have a bulging population that is an urban population, value also goes up to numbers that you cannot even imagine. If your bulging population is a ghetto area or slum, the appreciation might be significantly low. But when you have areas like the Maitama, like the Asokoro, expanding towards a particular direction, then your investment is going to be something else. So basically, there are a lot of factors to look out for to understand if an area is investable or not. The number one factor you're looking out for if you're investing in an area. Look, these factors now, they are actually not limited to FCT. If you apply them in other places, you're going to have the same results. You're going to have very good return on your investment. Number one factor you should be watching out for in an area you want to invest is the planning of that particular area. The planning. Today, if you go there, that place might look like a bush. It might look as if, okay, nobody is going to live here in the next 10 years and all what have you. But the number one thing you should be looking out for is the planning of that particular area. What has this area been designed to be in the future? And the future can be in 1 year time, it can be in 2 years time, it can be in 3 years time, and what have you. What has this area been designed to be? Is the design poor? Is it designed to be like a very modern settlement, or it's just there? Let me give you an instance of impact of proper designing in real estate and how it means a lot to real estate appreciation. If you take for example the Karimo Umbora axis, that area looks to be like far away from town, but because that area had proper planning and standard infrastructures, today the prices of those areas are something else. Now you go to the Maitama 2 axis today, a lot of places there looks like typical bush. In fact, Maitama 2 shares the same geographical boundaries with the Shape axis, with the Jikakuchi axis, in fact sometimes extending up to Jikoko axis. A lot of those areas today as we speak, plots are still going for 3 million naira or thereabout or less. But the same Maitama 2 that they are sharing same geographical boundary, plots are probably 45 million naira for 1,000 square meter. And the primary difference is that this place has been designed to replicate the main Maitama, while those places the planning is not there yet. If you have considered planning, the second thing you should be considering in investing in that particular area is the land use. Now, let's say you're somebody that wants to invest in industries. Your goal is that the purpose of investing in these emerging areas is that as they come up, I want to build companies that will be manufacturing so and so in that area. Your primary consideration is what is the land use of that area. You cannot go into a complete residential designed area to put a steel factory there. You definitely have issue with your investments because you've invested wrongly. So your second consideration is land use. To confirm that what you want to do, the purpose of that your investment is in line what you want to do. Okay, if you have looked into your land use, if you have looked into your planning, the third factor you should be looking out for is proximity to a bulging population, a proximity to an expanding population. And I always say this in most of my talks, that you are not just looking out for proximity to a bulging population. When you have a bulging population that is an urban population, value also goes up to numbers that you cannot even imagine. If your bulging population is a ghetto area or slum, the appreciation might be significantly low. But when you have areas like the Maitama, like the Asokoro, expanding towards a particular direction, then your investment is going to be something else. Take for an example now. Some years ago, Guzape looked like a typical bush. But those that had foresight, when Guzape was still selling for 5 million naira per plot, 10 million naira per plot, they had a very clear insight that this is Asokoro expanding towards this direction. It's not Mararaba that is expanding towards that direction. It's not Dede that is expanding towards that direction. It's the Asokoro population that is expanding towards that direction. So today, an hectare in Guzape is over 1 billion naira. Another example is Naf Valley. Naf Valley used to be Ungwon Mada, Naf Valley Estate Asokoro. When Naf Valley started selling 2-bedroom terraces, 3-bedroom terraces, they were selling for as low as 7 million naira, 8 million naira, 9 billion naira semi-finished. But those that had foresight understood the clarity that this is not Mararaba also expanding towards this direction. It's Asokoro population expanding towards this direction. Today now, those same units, a lot of them are over 200 million naira. If you understand that if you have a bulging population, a population that is expanding, go to where that population ends. Go to the back of that population, identify lands there and invest in those. And I always tell you, if that population is an urban population, in fact, the population that is expanding towards that area can even help you understand your appreciation. Like Katempe extension was designed to correct like the slim roads that you have in Maitama and that you have in Asokoro. And those early adopters of that area understood that, okay, it's going to be people from Maitama, from the Asokoro that will be investing in those areas. And with that understanding today, if you have invested, I know there was a land we bought in Katempe extension somewhere around I think it was around 2016 or 2017. It was bought for around 220 million naira then. Today, that property is about 2 billion naira at least. So if you understand how population works, how population expands, you will be able to clearly understand either Abuja or not Abuja. You will be able to clearly ascertain, okay, these are areas I should invest in. Mayola pastries, I think I have answered your question. If you want specific areas like planning, you're looking at land use, you're looking at proximity to bulging population, you're looking at presence of institutions. Yeah, that's another key factor. Whichever area you have planned institutions like universities, like barracks, like a major hospital and those kind of institutions, properties tends to develop faster in those areas. So you're looking at all of that. Now, another factor that from experience I would recommend you look out for is the type of allocations in that particular area. In fact, I majorly consider that factor personally to tell me if an area is good for me to invest. If I am investing for development now, not personal investment, if I am investing for development, one primary thing I look out for is presence of big lands in that particular area. I will explain what I mean by this in a GP.